Hey guys, welcome back to English class. It's week 3 and we are continuing our argumentative writing. So today is Tuesday, April 14th, and we are taking a look at the introduction to the argumentative essay. But first, I need your attention because there are going to be a few announcements since we're starting the fourth marking period. First of all, in the last marking period, as we were learning online, you remember that assignments were worth only 1 point. So you either got that point or you didn't. If you didn't turn your work in, obviously you got a 0. But if you didn't do well on the assignment, you got a 0 as well out of just 1. But in the fourth marking period, assignments can be worth a different number of points, up to 10. So be looking at that and be aware of, how much each assignment is worth. Grammaropolis assignments are now going to be worth 5 points each, and you're going to have those every single day. The good news is you can kind of work at your own pace each week on Grammaropolis, and you can, do a couple of assignments in one day if you want, if you know you're going to be busy with other schoolwork on, a different day of the week. But you need to make sure that you have all of your assignments for Grammaropolis due by the end of that week. So if we don't have school on a Friday, that means all of your Grammaropolis work has to be done on Thursday. If we do have a full 5-day week, then you would have until Friday to get it all done. But be aware that those assignments are now worth 5 points each instead of 1 point each, and you still do have to reach 80% in order to earn the 5 points. And there is not any partial credit there. You either do the work or you don't. Make sure that you are doing all of the activities. I'm still seeing some of you who are, missing things there. I told you if you skip a song or if you skip a little video or something, that's no big deal. But I want you to make sure that you're doing the practice activities and you're definitely doing the quizzes. Incomplete work. I'm seeing some incomplete work coming in, and I'm having a little bit of trouble with kids submitting things, and then either they are not happy with the grade that they got, or they just want to resubmit. And there's a lot of traffic coming in with assignments. So a couple of things that we're going to adjust. Number one, if you turn in an assignment incomplete, you're going to be graded on the work that comes in. So you'll get a grade based on what you've turned in that first time. I don't want you to turn something in incomplete and then resubmit it once you decide you're going to do the rest of the assignment. Get it done the first time, and then we'll get your grade based on your first submit. Unless I comment and tell you to fix something up and resubmit it, just assume that you'll be graded on what you turn in the first time. The second thing that I want you to start paying attention to are the due dates that are coming out. Late work is now going to be worth half credit. So you have to be mindful of when things are due and trying to make sure that you're getting them done when they do need to be done. So if you have questions about any of this stuff, guys, please make sure that you ask. Don't be afraid to ask me. If you don't want to ask during office hours because everybody else is open to your questions, you can email me and I'll send you a reply. But know that when you have a question, somebody else probably does too. So don't be afraid to ask. Okay, so for today, Grammaropolis abbreviations is the only thing that you are responsible for today. Remember, it's worth 5 points and you need to get 80% for credit. Okay, moving on to writing an argument. So we spent a lot of time reading The Lady or the Tiger, and you know that ending leaves us wondering what the princess decided to do, which is going to be the basis of your argumentative writing this week. So when we write an argument, for our sake in this assignment, our purpose is to change someone's thinking to align with what we believe happens at the end of this story, okay? So you are going to eventually be writing a claim to tell what you think happens. When you write an argument, tone is really important, and making sure that you are polite in your approach is very, very important, because when you take a really strong tone, excuse me, and you use kind of a shouty tone where you might be using exclamation marks and things like that, it can turn people off. It kind of comes across as a know-it-all. So make sure that you have a polite tone, that you're confident in what you say, because you have great examples that are going to come later in your writing, but that you are aware of not sounding very shouty. You are going to make a specific claim. So as we said yesterday, taking one side of this argument is really important. You can't be wishy-washy. You have to either decide that she sent him to the lady specifically or to the tiger. Having solid evidence for your support is also very important. Equally important is addressing a counterclaim. So addressing what the other side has to say and making sure that you can kind of prove them wrong. Concluding your thoughts in a conclusion paragraph. And we are going to take a look at a quick video to go over argument writing.
If you ask me, are you a writer, Judy? I'll say no, but I'm a great rewriter.
We speak student.
Argument essay a la Schmoke. Is Bieber's hair more awesome than Cousin It's? Should weekends be extended to 4 days instead of the measly 2 we currently have? Are dogs better than cats?
Say cats are better.
No matter how you answered any of these questions, you're already in the thick of an argument. And hopefully you didn't tick off any cats in the process. They're unforgiving creatures. In writing, arguing has nothing to do with the decibel level of your voice. You're wrong. An argument essay persuades your readers to make a change. This change could be a mental change, a different way of thinking, or an actual change in a policy or practice. It's wide open. Here's a classic example. I'm 16 years old and I just got my driver's license. Therefore, I'm clearly more than capable of driving your new Porsche Turbo. Try saying that to one of your parents and he or she will probably say, yeah, right. But give them evidence and support your claim. Show them how you can drive in reverse in a straight line for 100 feet and parallel park a Hummer into a parking spot meant for motorcycles, and you just might succeed in changing their mind. So when you're presenting an argument, your reader must see things from your point of view. You can't let them just brush it off because they don't agree with you right off the bat. It's on you to persuade them by providing support for your arguments and effectively shooting down any potential counter-arguments. All through it, keep your tone civil and polite, or your reader will toss aside your paper. So how is this puppy organized? You've got your intro, a thesis that states your overall opinion. The body of the essay will have your supporting points, and finally your conclusion in which you wrap things up neatly. If that seems like a bit much, don't panic. Shmup's Writing Guide has help and more info on these terms. The argument essay is the most important kind of academic paper because most essays have an element of argumentation, even if it isn't immediately obvious. After all, why are you writing anything at all if it isn't to convince someone of something? The personal statement that you will be writing to get into college, it's an argument that you're awesome. That long Facebook status you just posted about how Taken 2 is the best movie of all time? That's right, you're trying to persuade your reader that the oft-derided film is in fact misunderstood. If you're going to turn anyone to your side in this instance, though, let's hope you have a very particular set of skills. See what we mean? Now go on, argue. We can see you're chomping at the bit. Ow. Ow.
In your argument, you are going to begin with your introduction. And in the introduction that you write, you are going to have 3 FCAs like you always do. They are a little bit different for argument writing. So let's take a look. The first FCA, and guys, these are going to happen in order in the introductory paragraph. So you're going to start your paragraph with an attention grabber. And you have 3 options for this attention grabber. First of all, you can choose a quote, and it might be a line from the story. It might be a particular quote from anybody, really, who has something to say that has to do with our topic. Okay, so you can start with a quote. You also could choose to tell part of the story. So if you need to set the scene, you can choose to tell part of the story that will make what you have to say about it particularly potent. You also can make a comparison. So you can start by telling a story about something else that leads to your point. Okay? The second thing that you're going to do is provide background information, which will be also worth 3 points. So you are going to tell the audience what they need to know from the lady or the tiger in order for them to understand why you have an opinion about this at all. So you need to kind of summarize the story in no more than 3 sentences. And the third FCA, you are going to make a claim. So worth 3 points, you are going to very specifically tell the reader what you believe happened in the end. You are going to provide a generalized reason for what you believe. And we're going to watch a little video that's kind of going to explain it somewhat better.
Created using Powtoon.
Tasks for today. You will complete abbreviations on Grammaropolis. Make sure that you score 80% for credit. You are going to write your introduction paragraph for your argumentative essay, making sure that you refer to the FCAs. And make sure that you remember that a claim is a statement that can be proven using evidence. So when you come up with your claim for today, it surely should include whether you chose the side of the lady or the side of the tiger, and a general statement about why. You don't want to quite get into the specifics of the evidence that you chose in your T-chart or anything like that in your introduction. But in general, what makes you think that the princess led her boyfriend to the lady or to the tiger? Okay, when we're talking about evidence, we want you to remember that a strong claim is only the first step toward building a solid argument. Thursday's focus will be on selecting evidence that makes your point, as well as addressing the other side's claim, which we call a counterclaim. So we're going to be moving into that on Thursday. And as I said, we really are going to be slowing down the pace. So your job for today is that Grammaropolis assignment plus writing this one paragraph, the introductory paragraph. Make sure that you look at the FCAs and remember this paragraph is due by the end of the day today. Tomorrow I'm going to be grading them so you can get some feedback before we move into the body of the essay on Thursday. So good luck. Be sure to check in with me if you have questions as you're working, because you might today, as this is something new, we've not really done argument writing before. So let me know if you have questions. Good luck and do your best work.